hope you appreciate the cute blouses that I wear for this show because I am running out of new ones to wear. It's Ancillary Justice meets Sherlock Holmes with a Vietnamese twist in this sci-fi novella that I thought was just okay. This week, I read The Tea Master and the Detective by Aliette de Bodard, and yeah, it was a book that I read. This book was so short that it honestly didn't leave that much of an impression on me. And unlike other novellas of a similar length that I've read lately, I think Binti is the most comparable because it's sci-fi and of the same length. It didn't really pack that much content in. Usually novellas are full to bursting with ideas, with almost too many ideas for their page count. With this one though, I was just confused by the world building. So confused that it detracted from the story for me. Let me give a brief summary. Our Watson in this story is a ship called the Shadow's Child who was in a battle that left her traumatized. She now mixes medicinal tea for people, somehow. Most of my notes for this book are me just being confused by what the Shadow Child is because she's a ship in space that can manifest herself physically, I think, and control bots and mix tea with something, and she had a physical body at one point because she was born to parents, but now it's like inside the ship. I never understood how the other characters were interacting with her when she physically manifested, if she physically manifested at all. And other characters in this are ships too. There's a non-binary ship and a male ship, and the Shadow's Child identifies as female. But how do ships have genders? I mean, I guess gender is a social construct and they're like, you know, minds, but yeah, okay, that tracks. Anyway, the Shadow's Child, I'll just call her the ship, is visited by a woman named Long Chow. Long Chow, our story's Sherlock, wants the ship to mix her a tea that will allow her to focus in deep space. In this book, being in deep space does weird things to people's heads and it messes with their sense of space and time. It affects the ships going into space as well. Long Chow is trying to solve a mystery in space but needs to be able to focus while she does it. The ship, strapped for cash, agrees to do this even though Long Chow is kind of rude to her. You can probably guess that I'll get to this later. As the ship gets more involved in the case and more involved with Long Chow, she discovers a secret about Long Chow's past that makes her question their relationship. So, our characters. As I said, I was confused by how this ship worked. Bodard was obviously going for an ancillary justice thing dashed with a little bit of murder bot. Since the ship was poorly described, I still don't know what she looks like. Oddly enough, the book wasn't told from her first-person perspective, although it was told from a close third person. Hey, maybe if Bodard had told this in first person, she wouldn't have had to type out the Shadow's Child every time she was referring to the ship. I did want to see more personality from the ship. We know that she likes pulpy action and romance novels and that she has trauma related to this battle she was in. She wants to be independent of her family and of the other ships in her life, but this just comes across as her being kind of antisocial. It isn't until the end of the book that she's remotely interested in being Long Chow's friend. She's just mostly annoyed and even scared of her at one point. At this point in the canon, after Holmes and Watson's original meeting, Watson was odd and low-key obsessed with his roommate, and there's just none of that here. Okay, Long Chow, our Sherlock. We didn't see her as much as the Shadow's Child, and she's just kind of this enigma, which does track for Sherlock Holmes. Other than that, she's just sort of boring. She's haughty and vague and doped up on drugs all the time. Also tea, they're kind of the same thing in this book. Where's the sparkling wit? Where's the charm? Where's a character we want to spend time with? In all these stories, these adaptations, you can't just say, this is Sherlock Holmes, and call it good. As Watson must be convinced by Holmes, so must the reader. Characters don't have to be likable or good people, but they do need to be readable. This book doesn't have any new hot take on the characters, it's just the same old, boring, Holmes is arrogant thing. Every book needs to feel like it needed to be written, like it has a point, and this book just doesn't. So, while it didn't fill me with rage, this book just gets a meh. It has a fresh setting, and Femlock is always cool, but the setting got a bit muddled and the characters didn't have a lot to do. Alright, thank you for watching me be ambivalent about a book. If you liked this video, please like and subscribe to this channel. I'll be back next Wednesday for more Sherlock Holmes content, and if you're interested in other things I do that are sort of aimless, I also upload videos on Saturdays. Okay, bye!